What is up, everybody? How's it going? Ben Gothard here, founder and CEO of Gothard Enterprises, author of CEO at 20. Today I'm joined by the main man, Chrissy J.
What is going on, Benny G? What is going on, my people?
Glad you could join, brother.
Thank you very much.
So, everybody, today we are going to talk about minimalist living. It is something that Chris and I have been thinking a lot about and speaking a lot about. Therefore, to be 100% transparent with you, we want to talk to you about it. So, Chris, why don't you take it away, brother? What is minimalist living?
Okay, so like everything, I like to draw back to my experience with things. So, bringing a 2 minutes of the Chrissy J story to the table here. So, for the last kind of 18 months, I've lived in a very kind of materialistic world, Phoebes, and I've been buying things, because I've made not bad money with like Amazon FBA, Kindle and stuff like that, and I've never really lived without stuff. And the point of fulfillment for me until, a couple of weeks ago before I came to visit Ben in New Orleans was stuff was the meaningful element to make my life a purpose, to make me happy, or what I thought it represented in that point. But the minimal living now, before I came to New Orleans to visit Ben, I got rid of pretty much all of my stuff. Before that, I had direct debits, over £1,500. There was car, there was my rent, there was all like the drone, there was cameras, there was more phones than I had fingers, and it was no need for it. And what I've been living with, Ben for the last 7 days is my clothes, a few changes of clothes, and my laptop and my phone. So one of those things is not necessary, and that's actually my phone. I've just been living off my laptop. So what we're trying to get at here is the minimal living is where you should live your life with only the things that bring you value and joy.
Absolutely.
And it's the people around you that bring you the most fulfillment, in my experience, exactly the life we've been living. So,
right.
And it's not the stuff that you buy is going to fulfill your life with purpose. It's actually adventures and experiences. So
with the people that you love
exactly,
and care about.
Exactly. So, for me, it's been an eye opener getting rid of my stuff. Lowering all of my direct debits on a monthly basis has freed me up to so much more stuff. Now I've got more kind of money in the bank, so I can come and do my travels and everything like that, so I can gain more experiences, go and see new people, and visit different locations when and where I like. So that's kind of my experience, and I've got a much bigger and broader smile on my face because of it.
Absolutely. So just as kind of a general thing, minimalist living is really only living with the essentials, right? Only taking the things with you that you truly need, right? And only having the things that you really need. Like, for example, there was this TED Talk, and this gentleman in the TED Talk was saying that he and his wife were living in debt. They had a car that they couldn't pay off. Their rent was too expensive in the apartment that they owned. Yeah. They had all this junk, all this stuff in their house, and they were thinking about going to get a house. Yeah. And putting themselves into more debt. And he said that the way that they got out of it was they took all their stuff and they sold it. They sold all their stuff.
And there was like a garage full, right?
Right. Yeah. There was tons of it. And what he said was that he realized the cycle that most people get into, right? They get into the cycle of, let me get a good job so I can make money, so I can afford the stuff that I want, and I can accumulate stuff, right? Think about all the stuff that you have in your house that you don't use. Think about all the clothes that you have that you don't wear, right? There's a trick, for example. If in your closet you turn all of your hangers one way, and every time you wear something, you turn it the opposite way of all the other clothes, after 6 months, see which clothes you've actually worn.
Yeah,
it's 6 months.
It's so true.
You'll see that you don't really wear most of your clothes. You don't really use most of the things in your house. And so, back to the anecdote. So this guy sold all of his stuff, right? And by the way, they were having a child. They just brought a child home when they thought of this. And he had a dream of going and traveling to Australia. And so he sold all of his stuff. He really focused in on what was important in his life, which was his family. And within 6 months of just focusing on that, not indulging on things, but worrying about experiences and surrounding himself with the people that he loved and that he cared about, he was able to go to Australia and live that life of his dreams, right? And so, he was saying, he made a really good point, that infinite loop that people get into of getting a job, making money, buying stuff, storing stuff, right, because you don't really use it, getting too much stuff to fit in your house, so you have to buy a bigger house to fit more stuff. And it's just, it keeps going more in debt. And then you're more in debt because you're buying more stuff, and then you have to buy a bigger place to store your stuff. And we even have storage systems, indoor storage things.
Multi-billion-pound industry.
Just to store the stuff that we don't use, but we don't want to give away because for some reason it means something to us, right? And so, exactly what Chris is saying, what is minimalist living? Is only taking the things that you need in life. Is only taking the things that you need, right? So Chris, we kind of talked a little bit about what it was. Why is it so powerful to live by the style of minimalist living? Why is it so powerful?
The biggest thing, to me, the main importance is it frees you up to everything in life, So, do we really need that £600 car that gets us from A to B? Can we reduce that by £500 and drive the normal car so we can save that £500? Because with £500, you can go to Spain for 2 weeks. You can take your family on a vacation for a couple of days or a weekend. So to me, it's about opening up your life to more options, freedom, and then saving more money. So, if something was to go wrong with your house or with a family member who really needed your help, you've got that extra capital in the bank to help those people as well. So, again, it comes down to options and really creating that freedom in your life. And it's not just like freedom in terms of the 9 to 5, breaking away from that. This is a different type of freedom. This is, freedom and not just financials, but dream freedom as well. This will give you the opportunity to create things that other people don't have the chance to. And I think that's the biggest importance to me. I mean, I'm okay for money. I'm okay. Maybe I could have afforded that IA, get a nice little apartment and, get all these flash gadgets, get the iPhones.
But do you need it?
Yeah, but I don't need it. And I said to Ben before, this is like me being fully honest, transparent with everyone. When I bought the drone, I bought a DJI Phantom drone 4 for anybody that didn't know. That cost me like £1,300. Like, £1,300. I've used it 5 times, and what was going through my head when I was picking that drone up in the shop was, this is going to make an awesome Facebook photo. And I was thinking to myself, okay, so I'm paying £1,300 for this drone to simply put it on Facebook, which I did. Okay, you got 100 likes. Go on, Chrissy boy. Nice. But there was it pretty much stopped there. I flew it through a few times. The novelty wore off, and now it's been sitting in my room for the last 2 months. And
there's no film. There's no extended value, right?
But with that money, so I've been able to book flights to come over here in USA from the UK, £400. I've been able to, go on a few good nights out, hit a few nice restaurants, do stuff in the day, and that isn't even close to £600 or £700. So if I wasn't to spend that, look at the opportunities that could have brought me. So to me, it's about reducing everything to maximize everything else in life, which is very important.
Right, and so just kind of what you were saying, minimalist living, it provides you with the opportunity for freedom.
Yeah.
It gives you the ability to be free, because if you don't have to worry about making car payments, making house payments, making this payment, making that payment, buying all this stuff, then you don't have to, not only do you not have to physically worry about those things, right? You don't have to make sure that you're dealing with all this stuff that at the end of the day doesn't really matter, right? If you have a PS3, does it really matter?
I'll give you a ridiculous example of how far I took it. Like, I'm a big coffee fan, but I don't think anyone's as big a coffee fan to the extent that I took it. So I started out with sorry to break you up there. I started out with a Dolce Gusto coffee machine. That was great. I was using the pods, I was cracking it open, drinking my 2 Americanos in the morning, and I thought, okay, how else can I take this further? And I was thinking, at this point now, looking back, what was I thinking? And what was I thinking? So a Dolce Gusto machine sitting here in my house. I thought, okay then, Chrissy, how can we ramp it up a bit? Let's taste some different coffees. So of course that comes from the coffee product and not from the machine. So then I went and bought another coffee machine, and that was a Russell Hobbs grind and brew. So that's over here in my kitchen. Drunk that for maybe a month, 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks at tops. And then I went and bought the Nespresso machine, from what point which sat over here. And it was at that point when I looked back a couple of weeks ago before coming to the US and realised how ridiculous I'd been.
You do love your coffee, though.
I love my coffee, but I don't think anyone loves it that much. And I think it was the point of, when money comes in, not that this is all about financials, but when it does, you think that that is the point of freedom for yourself. And what makes us fulfilled, especially when we're working in the 9-to-5 jobs or like entrepreneurs, busy things, the fulfillment factor sometimes comes from the physical possessions that we can provide and put into our life that is right here in front of us. So, if you can move away from that, sell some stuff that you don't need, especially like glasses in your house. Do you need 15 cups of glasses when you're a 4-person family? Probably not. Estimate the amount of people that might come round for a family gathering and go with that amount. You definitely don't need like 15, 20 glasses, right, unless you're a rock star, baby. So that's the extent that I took it. So I'm sure you guys now who are watching this video and will be watching this video are looking around your house, and you will be, you point out things like, okay, they're right, I don't really need this. I don't really need this. And start to get into the more fulfillment factor of what really makes you happy, what really puts that smile on your face. How can you change your family's life, your friend's life for the better, instead of putting the pointless things right on your shelf, by your bed's side, and all of this thing. So this is just my personal experience. I'm only bringing the joyful and most valuable things into my life from now on, and I'm looking forward to caring for people and adding new experiences whenever I can. So
absolutely, and so when you have that sort of mentality of the minimalist lifestyle, you can put away the materialistic things in your life, and you can get rid of those things that truly do not bring you the real happiness, and you can start doing things like getting experiences, and you can do incredible things. Like, just for example, the other day, Chris and my dad and 2 good friends of ours, we went fishing, and we went out on a boat. It was just the bros going to hang out, and that was such a cool experience. That was so meaningful because it was a time that was spent not indulging in material things, but instead it was spent surrounding ourselves with nature. We were on the water. It was a beautiful day. It was kind of hot. We got a sunburn. Probably should have done more suntan lotion. But we surrounded ourselves with people that were really cool. And Chris got to meet some of my good friends.
And I've never fished in my life, so that
was an experience.
That was a real experience.
It was cool. So things like that, to me, are more valuable than material things. And things like, especially in my life, family gatherings. I'm so big on family. Family is the most important thing to me. And so the more time that I can spend with my family, it doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter what we do.
And it doesn't matter what supercar you drive up to the event.
Exactly. None of that stuff matters. What matters is, to me, getting together with those people and having those experiences with those people that are important to you and that mean something to you in your life. So that is why I think it's so powerful, is because if you adopt a little bit more minimalistic lifestyle, and we're not saying to just burn the house down, go sell everything, right? But just something to think about. Something to think about. The things in your life, do you really need them, right? What do you actually use on a day-to-day basis? What actually brings you joy?
Yeah.
Right? So now that we've talked about why it's so powerful, Chris, can you give some actionable tips on what you can do to start living a more minimalist lifestyle?
The first thing I would do is open up your bank account online or look at your paper statements and go through your direct debits. Now, go through your direct debits very carefully and single out the things that you really don't need in your life, that don't bring you any value, purpose, fulfillment, and joy, and just mark them down, even if it's a simple bullet point, for when those direct debits run out naturally, or whether you want to pay them off early, because that's a point that's going to gain, and to help you gain that freedom. That's what really helped me. I mean, I've reduced my direct debits now from £1,500 down to £400 per month, and that was simply down to getting rid of the things I don't need. So, I need my laptop, that's going to come out of finance. I don't need my car. I passed my car on to my dad. I don't need that because I want to do some traveling, move around the place. Again, I had a Mac desktop. I'm going to sell that as a drone. So all of this has been reduced. So that really helps to free you up in many situations in life for you to experience different things. So
absolutely. And not only is it going to free you up financially, now you don't have all this stuff to worry about.
Yeah. Right? And in the mornings, I can remember when I had all of this stuff that I bought from all of my Amazon FBA earnings, because when you get an influx of money that you're not used to, that's what else do you want to do with it? You want to buy stuff. And I remember waking up after putting the money in my bank account, then spending all of the money. I'd wake up in like crisis. I'd start my day in such a stressful kind of mood and attitude that the direct debits the next day just minimized the numbers in my account, and that was happening daily. And even though I thought that I had everything in terms of physicalities, in terms of a nice car, Mac, nice apartment, it was more so that those things owned me more than ever. And it kind of takes a reverse, that you're not in power of the things and they really empower you. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. So, what I would recommend doing is, I would recommend really thinking about the things that you use on a daily basis. And not only the things that you use, but the things that actually provide value to you and the things that bring you joy, right? And so, do you need a television? That's kind of an extreme example, but do you really need that? Do you really need to spend your time watching television? Or could you pick up a book, call your friend, go spend time with somebody else? It's kind of an extreme example, I know, because most people have a television. And I'm not saying that I don't have a television, but do you need it, right? Do you need the things that you have in your house? Do you need all the stuff that you have in your garage or that you have in storage? How is that going to make you happier? How's that going to get you more fulfilled in your life? Because if you start approaching a minimalist lifestyle, then instead of working towards accumulating stuff that a lot of the time you're probably not going to end up using anyways, like the drone, which you used 5 times, but instead you can start accumulating experiences. Memories, taking pictures with people that you love, building relationships with people that mean something to you, and not having, 10 years down the road and looking back and saying, oh, I had this awesome PS3 or this awesome television. Man, that thing really kicked ass.
Because, like, in the generation we're living now, there's always going to be something different. The iPhone 7's out now, it's going to be the iPhone 7.5, iPhone 7S. Once you get that new one, you always want to upgrade. So when you're in that consumable environment, that's all that you're looking forward to is the next upgrade. So just be careful not to step into that burden and F yourself over in the short term. So
absolutely.
And one other thing, when it comes to saving money and things like that, what really motivates me and has opened my eyes up over the last couple of weeks is I would never want to go to a birthday or show up to a Christmas or any party which requires giving presents to someone. That motivates me in the sense to save more so I can give more when it comes to special events to the people who are close to me, family, friends, and it's not all about you. So try and think above that and further on into your life so you can provide others.
Absolutely. So, with everything that we say, obviously it's still a work in progress for us. We're not saying that we're perfect, but we can only tell you about the things that we have done in our experiences, right? Chris, he's put up tons of pictures of it. I mean, you guys see all the time the pictures that I'm posting of, I'm trying to spend more time with family, trying to make experiences that are really important in life. And so, kind of what I was saying earlier, you don't want to look back 5 or 10 years from now and say, man, I really wish I would have hung out with this person more or that person more. I'm getting very close to graduating college, and so a lot of my friends they're graduating and they're going off and getting jobs or starting businesses, but they're not going to be around anymore. And so all that time that I've been spending with them has been so meaningful, right? Because people go on and do the things that they're going to do in their life, and not everybody's going to be as close as they once were. And so to really take advantage of that time that you have with the people in your life that you care about, to me, that is way more important than getting another iPhone or getting a gaming system, whatever it may be. It's so much more important to me to get experiences. So at the end of the day, Chris, if there was one takeaway from this video that you really want to instill, what would that one takeaway be?
I'm going to keep it simple and say, don't buy the stuff that you don't need.
Absolutely.
Simple.
And my takeaway is going to be, don't go for stuff, don't go for material things, go for experiences. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been of value to you. Let's build a better world together. Thanks for watching.